When did a gut feeling save your life? I was a young, naive freshman in college and had basically no experience talking to boys. This guy had sat next to me for my whole 2-hour psych lecture and casually talked to me the whole time. Just little comments about the lecture, showing me things on his laptop, innocent stuff. When lecture ended and we got outside, it was pouring. Like, to this day, I've seen rain like that maybe twice in my life. Rain that would physically hurt to walk in. He offered me a ride and I said yes, but as he was pulling the car up, I thought to myself, don't get in, and took off running to my dorm. Saw him on the news a few months later for raping 2 women. Whew, you truly dodged a bullet there. Yeah, maybe not saved my life, but pretty damn close. My stomach dropped when I saw that on the news. This was a few years back. I came out of a club in my hometown after a heavy night of drinking. I was a student then, and out with a lot of university friends that I lost during the night. I was alone. I was going to get a taxi home, but thought I could do with McDonald's first. We have a big 24-hour one in our town. During my drunken walk towards the McDonald's, I heard crying coming from one of the dark, narrow alleyways we have in our town. I followed the noise down the alleyway until I came across a woman with her face towards the wall. She had a hood covering her face and had no distinguishing features. At first glance, I thought that maybe she'd been raped or mugged. Like, why else would there be a woman crying in an alleyway? Anyway, as I got closer to her in that poorly lit alleyway, I saw 2 giant industrial bins between her and myself. It wasn't until I got within a few feet of the bins that I stopped. It was like a giant shock went through my body. I don't know how to adequately explain it other than a primal instinct. Within 2 seconds of seeing them bins that are large enough for people to hide behind, the dark lighting of the alleyway, and the faceless woman crying, I was 50% sure I was prey. I felt an urge to run away. It was like something inhuman in me was telling me to turn and run my fucking legs out of that dark place. When I got to the light at the end of the alleyway, I turned to see if anybody was chasing me. Nobody was. But nobody was crying also. That gave me legit chills. I was working as a bank teller, and our bank had large windows on 2 sides of the building, so you could watch everyone walk from their car into the bank. A guy started walking in, and I instantly knew something was up. He wasn't doing anything abnormal, I just got a weird feeling. I was the only one in the front. Everyone else was either at lunch or in the vault, so I couldn't leave my station. I prepared myself to get robbed, so I took a few deep breaths and tried to remember everything about him to tell the cops about it later. Sure enough, he walked up and opened his wallet to show me a note that said something like, "I have a gun. Do not say a word. Give me all the money you have." That gut feeling allowed me enough time to calm down and formulate my thoughts so I could get him out of there as soon as possible, while also remembering as much about his appearance, voice, mannerisms, etc. as I could. I don't know if it was a gut feeling so much as good timing, but as a kid, me and my brother shared bunk beds. I had the bottom bunk. Every night I would get up to get myself a drink and go back to bed. I was maybe 6 when one night I get up to get my fucking shoes and I barely had stepped out of our bedroom when there was a loud cracking sound. This woke my parents and the 3 of us rushed back to find that the wood supporting the top bunk mattress had split and was now stabbing jaggedly into my mattress and pillow. A few seconds earlier or a minute later I would have been asleep there. Also, my brother didn't wake up the whole time, despite his bed giving out under him and dropping him several feet. And he would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for that meddling juice grave of yours. Relaying a friend's story. He was living in London and about to catch his usual bus when he felt like a cigarette. Just as he lit up, he could see his bus pull around the bend. He considered throwing out his ciggy but thought, bugger it, I really want my smoke. Included bus was 6 minutes away. So he didn't board his bus and watched it drive a bit down the road, when suddenly he was knocked to the ground by a powerful, unseen force. His bus was the victim of a terrorist bombing and exploded just after the stop. Smoking saved a life that day. Also, how recent was this? Today smoking is gonna save lives. Almost 8 months pregnant, normal, complication-free pregnancy. Walking through the grocery store, I had a twinge of a headache. Told my husband we needed to go home. At home, I took a shower and relaxed a bit, but got an urgent, impending doom feeling. Still just a tiny headache, not even enough for a Tylenol. Packed my toddler's diaper bag and requested we go to urgent care. The whole ride there I felt fine, wondering what I was even going to tell them at check-in. But that "you're not okay" feeling was still looming. We pulled in, I carried my sleeping 2-year-old inside and basically said, "I'm pregnant and something isn't right." My blood pressure was 256/148. I had a seizure 7 minutes after getting in the room. If I had told my husband to drive past and go to the ER, we would have been stuck in traffic as a truck had rolled over. If I hadn't left the grocery store or my house when I did, there's a chance I wouldn't have made it. We got a ride to the hospital when I was stable. I was induced at 35-ish weeks and my son was born perfectly fine, albeit small. I stayed on blood pressure meds for 8 days before it went back to normal. Damn, good job listening to your body. On my very first day as a full-fledged police officer, I was called to assist on a single car accident. It had been raining that day and the car had crashed and turned sideways on a highway off-ramp, forcing the first officer to shut it down. He was afraid that cars were coming by too fast and he asked me to shut down the closest lane. I parked my car in a lane on what was a perfectly straight stretch of highway. Eventually, fire and EMS arrived to tend to the people who had been in the car, and a tow truck arrived to clear the wreck. There were 5 vehicles with flashing lights on this straight stretch of highway at night. I was also wearing a full-length high-visibility raincoat with reflectors on it. I felt pretty comfortable standing near the center lane, and so I wasn't paying attention to oncoming traffic, but I suddenly got the feeling that I should stand closer to my unit. As soon as I moved, a car barely avoided striking my police car, veered to where I had been standing, crossed over 2 lanes, struck a car, veered in the opposite direction, struck another car, spun out, and then came to a stop after striking a guardrail. I ran down the highway to assist the driver, who had totaled her car and had broken both her legs. She said that she couldn't tell which lane was being blocked off. I'm almost 100% sure that she had been texting and driving. Share your stories in the comments about times when your intuition didn't let you down. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. See you in the next video.